Good morning, students. Today we shall be doing scalar triple products. So in scalar triple product, the structure of the expression is A dot B cross C. See, where A, B, C are three vectors, and they may be, in general, they do not lie in a plane. If they do lie in a plane, that the result will be zero. And this is scalar triple product. The reason why we are saying this is a scalar is because the resultant is a scalar. This is a scalar because first we do this operation. Okay, this is a vector. Then we make use this operation. This is a scalar. Basically, it's immaterial. It's no point giving this bracket because see, I can write it like this: A dot B cross C. You have to do this cross product first, because if you do this first, A dot B, then this becomes a scalar, right? So you then with a scalar you can't take a cross product with a vector. It's no point. This does not mean anything. Okay, you can't do like this. So you have to do it in this way. You have to do this first. This is the first operation, and then this is the second operation. That's the rule. So it's no point giving brackets. And also I shall tell you, you can switch this dot and cross. That is also possible. So we need to prove this later. But let me first explain what a scalar triple product mean. So consider A, B and C are non-coplanar vectors. Okay, A, B, C are non-coplanar vectors. And let me do one thing. Let me draw these vectors. Suppose this is A. Okay, this vector is A. Okay, let me do one thing. Take this as B. Take this as B. Take this green as C. Oh, okay, this is also yellow, never mind. This is C, and this is A. This is A. Okay, so this is this and this, A, B, C, and they originate from this point O. Suppose this is the origin of coordinates. It's immaterial to place a coordinate system because A dot B cross C will give the same result. Whatever coordinate system you choose, it is a scalar, and scalar is basically independent of coordinates. So that's the definition of a scalar. As you age, you will understand that scalar is defined as it is independent of transformation of coordinates. Whatever coordinates you choose, the scalar quantity remains the same, but the vector components changes as you change coordinates. Anyway, let's do B cross C. So first operation is B cross C. So what is B cross C? B cross C, you know that it is a area of a parallelogram made by B cross C, but it is an area vector. So first construct this. So we slide B keeping it parallel to itself, and suppose this is B and this is C, right? So this is B vector and this is C vector, and this is the area. Okay, this is the area B cross C. Fine. So the magnitude of B cross C. So this is basically B cross C magnitude. Now B cross C, B cross C is basically magnitude of B cross C times the unit vector which is perpendicular to the plane of B cross C. Let's draw it. So let's draw n cap. So n cap. Suppose this is n cap, and this n cap is the area vector. Now what you need to do is you need to do A dot B cross C. So what is A dot B cross C? So A dot B cross C. Okay. So that's basically, first you have already done this B cross C operation. So that is A vector dot n cap times magnitude of B cross C. Now what is A dot n cap? So for this A dot n cap, you need to have a angle between A and N. So let's find the draw the angle. Suppose this is the angle theta, okay, between A and N. And what is A dot n? If you go to my dot product video, because A dot n cap is basically A times magnitude of n times cosine of the angle between them. See, the magnitude of n cap is 1, right? Because it's a unit vector. And what is A cos theta? A cos theta is basically projection of A along n times A. So that means if you want to have a geometrical construction, let's do one thing. Let's draw a line with along n cap. Suppose this is a line along n cap, right? This is a line along n cap, and this is the perpendicular distance. Draw from this point, from this peak of A to this, right? So this length is basically A cos theta. Let me say this is as h. This is the height h, what I mean to say. So this h is basically perpendicular to this plane B cross C, right? So basically what you are doing, you are multiplying this area with height. So what is h? H is basically the height between two parallel planes. So let me construct it. You will immediately understand what is it. Let me construct it. Let me construct the whole parallelogram. So suppose this is C, this is B, this is B again, and this is C, right? So now let's join them. So join them. So basically, say this is a area, right? This is an area, and this area, this is a volume, and this volume, right? This volume is basically what is the value of this volume? Because value of this volume is magnitude of one area times the distance between the heights, okay? So this is what it is. This is the h, right, which is A cos theta. So what you get in return, you get is basically height times area, right? So this is what? This is height. This is h basically. H. Okay. Let me take some different color. Keep it like this. So this is h. So height times area. So this is basically h times magnitude of b cross c. So height is basically height times area of one side, right? So this is what? This is the volume. So you can write it in a more clear fashion. So this is basically, if you can write this area first. Area of one of the parallel sides times, or this is not a cross, this is basically just multiplication. You can, okay, times I introduce it by a star or something like that, times perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. Okay, so this is basically what? So this is the volume of the parallelepiped. Okay, this is the volume of the parallelepiped, which is A dot B cross C. This is called the scalar triple product. This is called the scalar triple product, and what I will do is, what I shall do is, I shall show that A dot B cross C is basically A cross B dot C. So that you will be doing using the rule of determinants. From that you can easily make out that A dot. Geometrically you can also find show that in any way you take, you will get it. You will get the area of the. You will get the volume of the parallelogram, except you will get a negative sign, but the magnitude of A dot B cross C is basically the volume of the parallelogram. You may see A dot B cross C is basically A dot. So it's basically, I tell you, A dot B cross C is actually minus of A dot C cross B. Only if you change this order of cross product, you will get a negative sign. But if you change the dot and cross, this will give the same thing. I'll show you. So A cross B dot C. You don't need to place a bracket, because automatically you have to operate this cross first, else it will not give any meaning. And this is also cyclically true. This is C cross A dot B. If you write the order, so this is also B cross C dot A, right? And this here you can also change the dot and cross. C dot A cross B. Okay, so the dot and cross may shift, so that is not a problem. But the thing is, you must get you will get a negative sign if you change the cross product only, and this is cyclically. If you rotate it, you will get the same thing. So this is written as ABC also. This is also called the box. This is box ABC, right? This is read as box ABC. This is also called the box product. Okay. Okay. Now let me show how you get this a dot b cross c is equals to a cross b dot a, etc. So let me show that. Let's take the determinant structure, so that will help you. I'm going to the next frame. You will get everything in the description box, every notes in the description box, you need not copy, but I suggest you to take notes as you hear this lecture, so that will help you. You better subscribe to my channel. For that, if you subscribe to my channel, you will get more notifications for the next videos and all. Okay, so let's do this determinant structure a dot b cross c. Okay, so let's write b as let's write this a as ax I cap. Suppose this is the x, I'm writing this vector in Cartesian coordinates in I cap, j cap, k cap unit vector structure. Ax, then it is ay j cap plus az k cap. B vector bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. Then c as cx I cap plus cy j cap plus cz k cap. Okay, now let's find b cross c. So what is b cross c? B cross c, I have already told you, you can write this in the form of a determinant, right? You can write this in a form of a determinant. So the first you need to write I cap, j cap, k cap, then it's bx, by and bz, then it's cx, cy and cz, right? So this is basically what? This is basically I cap times something plus j cap times something, you know these things, plus k cap times something, right? So this is I cap times something, j cap times something, plus k cap times something. This something, let me write this something, that will help you. This is bycz minus bzcy. bzcy, you can see this in my dot product. As far as j is concerned, since I have taken a plus sign, it should be cx bz minus bx cz. As far as k is concerned, this is bx cy minus cx by, right? Now if I take a dot product, a dot b cross c, okay, so let me not give the bracket, because brackets will automatically follow. So what you do basically I cap ax plus j cap ay plus k cap az, right, times this whole thing, right, times this I cap bx cz minus bz cy plus j cap plus k cap. Okay, this. So this is basically what you are getting in the first term. You see this I cap dot, this will take only the I cap component, because I cap dot j cap will be 0, right? So this will be ax times bx cz minus bz cy plus in the place of j cap you will plug in ay times this, plus in the place of k cap you will plug in az times whatever it is. So what you are doing is you are just putting ax, ay, az in place of I cap, j cap and k cap. So a dot b cross c is basically just put ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz, cx, cy, cz. Now from the property of determinant, what you can do, see, you can easily cyclically rotate this. So this is what? This is basically cx, cy, cz, ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz. This is what? This is basically c dot a cross b, right? So if you change it cyclically, there is no change in the sign. So from property of determinants. You can also interchange rows cyclically. You can also interchange columns. In this case, we have cyclically changed this. We have placed it here, and this comes down. So this is cyclic operation, cyclic rotation of rows. So this is done from the property of determinants. So there is no change in the sign. So by this you can easily show that this is also is equal to b dot c cross a. It's no point giving these brackets because you have to do the cross operation first, but for your sake of understanding or also from my habit as well, I give this brackets, but it's no point giving these brackets. I tell you, I repeat this. So this is also called this box ABC. So one thing I need to tell you, few important things. Number one is, suppose let me go to the previous frame. So this thing ABC makes this volume of this parallelepiped made by these vectors. Now if these vectors are coplanar, so few consequences, the volume will be 0. Okay, so few consequences. So if you are asked to find that whether three vectors lie in a plane or not, so you can easily write, take a determinant of the components and show that it's 0. So for three coplanar vectors, box ABC is equal to 0. So you can also do this by sum of two vectors equal to some scalar component of the third, but you can also do this. This is more easy, so you don't have to search for that scalar number, how it becomes. Anyway, you can, it's up to you. So this is basically ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz, cx, cy, cz. So this is equal to 0 for three coplanar vectors. Let me give vector sign, coplanar vectors ABC. Let me do one simple problem. Okay, let me do one simple problem. So this is the problem as you see. This is from my assignment. So this is if courtesy DPC, DPG, Dr. Pal Guchai. I have taken this problem from that book. So sorry, this is a disclosure. This is A dot B cross C. Okay. Now we need to find this A dot B cross C. So I have already done this B cross C here left using that determinant. You can also do it directly, or let me do it separately as well. So first find A dot B cross C. So that is, what is A? The value of A is 2I cap minus 3J cap plus 7K cap times that B cross C, which I have already done here. Okay, minus 2I cap plus J cap plus K cap. Okay, so this is 2 times, so this is minus 4, 3 times plus 1 is minus 3, and plus 7, so this is 0. See, this is these three are coplanar vectors. Incidentally, these three are coplanar vectors given in the problem. Let's do it directly by using this determinant. So as I have shown you, you can arrange the components in the form of determinant. This is box ABC equal to these three vectors. You can separate them by commas. A components of A is 2, minus 3, 7, then B is 1, 2, nothing for K, and here you have a 0 because there is no I cap components, plus 1, minus 1. Okay, so now let's do this. It says 2 times 2 minus 1, 2 into minus 1 minus 1 times 0, then it's minus 1 into minus 3, then you this minus 1 into minus 3 times, let's do this. 1 into minus 1 is minus 1. Okay, let me explicitly do it. 1 into minus 1 minus 0 times 0 is 0. Then plus 7. Okay, 0 dot 0, that's also 0. So plus 7, then it's 1 into 1 minus 0, 2. So what you get? First you get is minus 4. 2 into minus 2 is minus 4, then it's 0. Then it's minus 3. Okay, 3 into minus 1 is, so then you get is minus 3. You can easily check. Minus 3 into minus 1 is 3, times minus 1 is minus 3, and here you get 7. So this is also 0. So conclusion, you can easily write conclusion: A, B, C are coplanar vectors. You can also do that by A plus B is equals to some constant times some scalar constant times C. That you can also do, but I think this is fairly easy. Anyway, thank you very much. I shall meet you in the next video. Thank you.